My humble pranams at the holy feet of revered Babuji Maharaj, revered Lalaji Maharaj, revered Chariji Maharaj, revered Daji Maharaj, and all elders of our mission. Now, I would like to read one of the messages of revered Babuji Maharaj. Before that, I would like to read one story from what is called from Vedanta, this book. Vedanta, written by Swami Dhananda. So let me read the story and enlighten you. After that, I will go for the message, divine message. See, here, one thing we have to observe, that is most important thing. What this author is telling from this Vedanta is, it's completely the story and everything. Our Babuji Maharaj, beloved, divine master, he has told in a sentence. That is, once he told Babuji Maharaj, all people come to see me, but go without seeing me. You understand that point? Everybody comes, all the Abhyasis, non-Abhyasis, whoever, they come to see me, means his physical body, and go without seeing me, the inner self, the inner condition of ultimate reality, the inner ultimate being, the inner condition, they don't see it, spiritual condition, they don't see. So, therefore, what is that obstructing? Everyone not to see, perceive the inner state of existence or inner state of condition of Babuji Maharaj. That is our own ignorance or our own samskaras. That has to be washed out. That has to be removed from our self. Then we can behold the true form of the great master or the true form of our own self. So now let me read, you understand. So what Babuji said. So let me read Vedanta and see what the Vedantists they say about the realization of God. So the proof of Vedanta. How can it be proved that the words of Vedanta indeed give direct knowledge of oneself? Listen first to the story of the man who was born blind. So here he is telling, Vedantis, the Rishi is telling, how to prove that God exists, for example. Direct experience, how can it be given to a person direct knowledge of the ultimate? It is not possible unless if we, Babuji says, if you have real wish, then you can pursue the ultimate. You can reach the ultimate. So we have to decide. So then only we can pursue the ultimate God. Otherwise it is impossible. That's why he is telling direct perception. How can anybody can give to anyone? We have to eat for our hunger. Nobody can eat for us, for drink for us, or sleep for us. Likewise, nobody can realize the ultimate, the God for us. So now, so he says, that's why indeed give direct knowledge of oneself. Listen first to the story of the man who was born blind. A man was born blind. A certain man was born blind, born totally blind. He was unable to see form and color or distinguish light from darkness. The condition of his sight did not change as he grew to manhood. He became an adult whose world was limited to that which could be objectified by his four good sense organs. However, there came a day when his doctor advised him that there was now a surgical procedure which could perhaps enable him to see. Sponsored by a local charitable club. The blind man flew off to a large metropolitan hospital where a specialist performed the operation. For several days afterwards, he was bandaged and blindfolded to allow the healing to take place. Finally, the day came when the doctor very carefully removed the bandages and then said, "Please open your eyes." The patient, keeping his eyes tightly shut, replied, "Please guarantee me that I will be able to see. Only then will I open my eyes. I assure you, you will see." The operation was a success. "Please open your eyes," the doctor said. No. After all these years from the childhood, I do not want to be disappointed. I do not want the shock of that. Prove to me first that I will see. Then alone shall I open my eyes. Otherwise, I do not want to take a chance on such a disappointing experience. So Babuji said, one person asked, first prove me God, then I will start practicing. Is it possible? So like this, he is telling this patient, first prove me that I can see. Then only I will see the light. Then only I will open and see the light. First you have to prove me. How it is possible? What can the doctor do? Nothing. There is nothing he can say or do to prove that the formerly blind eyes are not cured. The proof lies only in the opening of the eyes. The eyes must be opened to find out if they see. That alone is the proof. There is none other. The eyes alone are the means of knowledge of sight. That should be opened, eyes. Any means of knowledge is self-proving. It is not something that is proven by any other means of knowledge. If it is said that the words of Vedanta are a means of knowledge for knowing oneself, then the only proof of this statement is to test those words and see whether they work it. You understand? Even Vedanta, it will tell that God exists, but we have to realize it. Vedanta cannot make us realize. So that is what he is telling. That's why nobody can open, nobody can see the world if that man closes the eyes. Suppose we close the eyes, we cannot see the world. We have to open. So that is what Vedanta says. When it is said that the words of Vedanta reveal the nature of yourself, and that in the vision of Vedanta you are not the inadequate self. You think yourself to be. You are the self that is free from all limitations. So don't think that Vedanta says we all human beings, we think that we are inadequate. We have inadequacy. We are not adequate, or we don't have adequacy. But that is not correct. We are adequate. We have adequacy. That is inborn. That is there. The soul is possessing adequacy. But we think like that all human beings. That's why the Vedanta told Purushartha. That is 4 things. That is, one is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma means duty. By doing duty perfectly or imperfectly, successfully or failure, in a defeatedly manner, so we are not having adequacy. We are not having satisfaction. We don't have fulfillment. We don't have contentment. We are not complete. So there is inadequacy. In artha, next one. Artha means security. Everyone, male or female in this world, all the human beings, we want security. For security, we collect so many things. We earn so many things. Wealth, name, fame, whatever, power, everything, for the security of ourselves, our children, our wife. So this security we don't find even if we attain security in a great measure, even then this inadequacy will continue. And the third one is artha, kama, pleasures. All pleasures one may, nobody can enjoy throughout the life, but one may enjoy all pleasures. Even then, he will have the inadequacy. That's why Buddha said, 1,000 wives if you marry, even then you want another one to satisfy your karma, your sexual desire. So that is the thing, what inadequacy. So this dharma, duty, security, or pleasures, all these things, what we think that by acquiring all these things we will get adequacy. No, adequacy is liberation. Last one is liberation, that is moksha. We will not be free from this world of bondage. We will not be free from this world. This inadequacy, these are all inadequacy. Only moksha, that is adequacy. To attain adequacy, what we have to do? That is why we have that inadequacy. So we are searching adequacy in the world of inadequacy. That is something like the glasses are like this, and suppose I am working, I forget, and then I come back. Where are my glasses? I go on searching here and there, and in the balcony, in the kitchen, in the living room, in the toilet. Finally, I come to the dressing table, and there is a mirror, and I look into the mirror, and then I see the reflection that my spectacles are over my head. So I brought back to my consciousness, that is knowledge. Whereas the spectacles are with me, and I am foolishly searching here and there. That is adequacy. The adequacy is there with us. The contentment, the fulfillment, the what is called the satisfaction, the completeness. Everything is already with us. No need to achieve or attain anything. Attain the God or achieve the... No, not like that. It is always there. But we have to recognize. Why we are not recognizing? That is because of our ignorance. The samskaras. When the ignorance or the samskaras are removed by the grace and blessings of the great master, with his transmission force, when it is removed completely, then when the dust of the mind is washed away, then you behold your true form through the grace of the great master. Sadhu, get your purpose fulfilled. That is what Lalaji Maharaj told. So the dust of the mind, the samskaras, all the ignorance is removed, then we will see our true form. That is Atman, supreme soul. Soul is one. There is no difference. So that is our divine master, Guru Sakshat Parabrahman. Who is Guru? True Guru? He is the Parabrahman, supreme soul. Nothing but supreme soul. That what Babuji told. You are seeing my physical body and not my inner self. Inner self, that is supreme being, you are not seeing. So he is lamented like that. So now, here he is telling, you are the self that is free from all limitations. We are in the limitation. The action is limited. According to Vedanta, action is limited. Limited action, you will get limited result. That's why now and then we get adequacy, but not eternally. We are most part of the life, we are facing inadequacy. So this limitation, that liberation is limitlessness. We want to get the limitlessness, but unfortunately we don't find the way to get limitlessness. So limitlessness is already there with us, but we have to recognize it through a true guide, true master. So that is what he is telling, free from all limitations. You must necessarily give yourself an exposure to the teaching. So teaching of the master, whatever the master says, that we have to do it. And if we don't do it, so Lalaji says, within a wink of an eye, I can give realization to an abhyasya to a person. But he has to deserve, should have deservancy. So even Babuji says, if I give 1 second, if I give the condition of the ultimate condition, he will become mad. So therefore, we have to accept. So we should get that deservancy. Then he can give it. So therefore, the teachings of the Guru, one has to master, one has to follow. For that is their only proof. You must see for yourself whether they work or not. So you have to follow the instructions of the Divine Master. Only then you can see, behold your true self by yourself. Understand? But without listening to him, you can never see yourself. It may take any millions of years. Nobody can help. Only he can help. So we have to obey. We have to surrender to the will of the Master. By creating a contest in this, teacher removes the inherent limitation of words to make you see the limitless that you are. So that Master will give you the experience of limitlessness that yourself. Okay? The open. So, a limitlessness that you are. The open, attentive mind begins to see the meaning of the words, grasp their magical message as they reveal oneself to be the complete. That realization is complete, full being, lacking nothing, limitless itself. You are limitless itself. You are the complete. You are the absolute. You are the ultimate. You are the nothingness. You are the zero, and you are the Divine Master himself. That is what the Vedantists they say about oneself, realization of oneself. So that is a thing, and I would like to read Babuji's message. Please listen to it, and we will finish it. That is, Babuji said, I wonder how people begin to take the Swamijis, take even the very primary attainment as all and sufficient for them and become arrogant about it. Though, on the other hand, they would preach a lot against pride and arrogance from their platforms. Their unpractical knowledge of the scriptures may probably be responsible for it. Generally, those who undertake to coach others in spirituality before they themselves have made any practical attainment in the spiritual field are often a prey to this evil. Pride or arrogance constitutes an additional link in the existing chain of egoism. As a safeguard against this gross evil, one should keep himself directly in touch with God through sincere prayer as it is prescribed in our mission. If the Master is not perfect, so one has to pray God to give a perfect Master. Only then he will be saved. Okay? If one neglects this elementary principle, I believe he is not the least interested in the pursuit, but has taken it up only by way of recreation or amusement. Everybody should take spirituality very seriously. So that is the thing. If we take lightly, we will never reach our goal of life. Impossible to reach. That is what Babuji is telling. Please take it seriously. To the humanity, he is telling, firm resolve and dauntless courage are the essential features of a manly character. This is what is required for the final success. So dauntless courage and then firm resolve. That is determination, powerful willpower, determination, and that is courage. That is required in spirituality. With a shield or unshield. So you should, like a soldier, he should come with a shield. That is Spartan, a soldier, Greek soldier. He will come with a shield or on shield. So that should be our attitude. That should be our determination and firm will to reach the ultimate condition. Only then we can reach. Otherwise, we cannot. We cannot. So that is what Babuji is telling. But my advice in this respect usually goes unheeded. Nobody. It may perhaps be because of my inefficiency in literary knowledge, which people generally value most in an accomplished soul. So this is the tragic. This is the tragedy of the aspirants, because the aspirants, they look at the master when he is eloquently speaking. He is an orator. He is speaking all the scriptures in the world, and they get exhausted. What is this? He is the real master for me. He has a realized soul, and therefore I have to surrender to him, submit myself to him. Only then I will also reach the ultimate. That is the way how the ignorant people, they become prey to such what is called fake masters, imposters. So then the followers of that such masters, what they also begin to acquire this bookish knowledge. That is what is happening. See, some people, even in our mission, Abhyasis, senior Abhyasis or preceptors, I have seen some, they claim themselves to be highly learned people. That is nothing, only the bookish knowledge. With that bookish knowledge, they might have read. Suppose we read some 100 books, they would have read some 1000 books. But what is the use of that bookish knowledge? That will not, by bookish knowledge, one cannot realize the ultimate condition, realize oneself. That will give an idea. That is also required. Holy scriptures also required. We have to read the books, philosophical books. But that will give an idea, a clue to reach the reality. But it cannot give the realization of the reality. That is the utter foolishness on the part of the learned people who has the knowledge of bookish, who have the bookish knowledge. Therefore, such people will never even progress their spiritual, that is the journey, even spiritual journey will not start in their case. So therefore, we have to do the practice, only through practice. That's why Babuji said, knowledge is nothing. The experience only will give you the knowledge of the ultimate God, and not the bookish knowledge. So therefore, one must be very careful. So that is the thing. Some people are getting fooled, getting deceived by those bookish knowledge Swamijis. And then I too have a regard for them. You see, he too have a regard for them, and for that reason I usually behave submissively with them, with the bookish such Swamijis, fake Swamijis, fake persons, learned persons. So he is also giving respect, exalting them in all formal ways. Babuji also were doing. But on my part, I never did the hanker after knowledge. So Babuji said clearly, I am not for the knowledge. Feeling is the language of God. What is that? Feeling is love. A child loves a mother. That's all. A child loves all. Everybody will come to the child when the child is not alright. Everybody will come to the child and ask. See, child loves. Isn't it? It requires any PhD or any post-graduation. It requires any knowledge. Nothing. Love has need no knowledge. Only the love itself is enough. That is the feeling. The language. Feeling is the language of God. So to realize God, we should feel Him. Not through bookish knowledge. That is what Babuji is telling. I don't want any knowledge. Feeling. I have the love for my master. That's all. That is enough. No qualification. So that is the thing what Babuji is telling. So therefore the reason is that, so I never did hanker after knowledge. Yet, to be quite outspoken, I may say that I do not feel myself lacking in knowledge in any respect. All the knowledge. One who knows everything, if you go to such person, you will also know everything. Okay. Like an iron piece, when go on rubbing on the magnet, it will also become magnet. So that's all. So you need not have to go to libraries. No, nothing. That is what Babuji is telling. I have knowledge. My Guruji has given. So therefore, I may say that I do not feel myself lacking in knowledge in any respect. And I do possess it in its fullness. The reason is that my great master has transmitted to me everything that he possessed, and that included knowledge as well. For that reason, I feel myself immensely in possession of every type of knowledge from the lowest to the highest, though I may be lacking in the use of technical words in my expression. That is only the thing. But it is my meekness of nature and disposition which I have copied from my master that keeps it veiled under covering. As a matter of fact, knowledge picked up from books or scriptures is no knowledge at all in the real sense. Please learned people, please make a note of this. It's very serious. Notice. Don't think that by being a learned, by being acquired the bookish knowledge, you don't think that you are the great personality of this world. No. You are number one fool. That's all. So therefore, I am not telling all learned people. I am telling the people who exhibit their egoism. So those people only I am telling. Okay? As a matter of fact, knowledge picked up from books or scriptures is no knowledge at all in the real sense of the word. It is simply erudition based upon others' experiences. If you talk about this saint, that saint, I know 150 saints. R.K. Gupta, you read, he is the general secretary of Sufism. You read his books. 150 saints he has written. I read most of them. Their preaching, they express their experience of God. But that experience we will not get. That knowledge only we will get. But that experience we will never get unless we practice under the great master. So therefore here Babuji is telling others' experiences. You are talking about others' experience. Speak about your experience. That is important thing. Therefore, so it is simply erudition based upon others' experiences, attainment of the brain alone, and not the practical knowledge based on self-experience and attainment of heart. Let this serve as a guiding light to the true seekers of the real knowledge. So true seekers, be a true seeker. Either you are learned or not, illiterate or unlettered, but be a true seeker of the ultimate knowledge. That knowledge, real knowledge, you should be for that only, and not for boasting yourself and then boosting your egoism. Okay, not for that. That is of no use. Like that Babuji is guiding. So what Babuji says, seekers of the real knowledge. With me it was so, because instead of striving for the attainment of knowledge, you are wasting your time striving for the knowledge. I remained ever in pursuit of him. I was not going chasing the knowledge. I was not for knowledge. I was for him and him alone, Babuji says. I was going and I wanted to merge in the Lalaji Maharaj. That is only my way of pursuit. So therefore, I remained ever in pursuit of him, my divine master, who was the storehouse of knowledge and perfection. Who is there like Babuji, means Lalaji Maharaj? Nobody in this world yet, till date, what Babuji is telling. knowledge. I remained ever in pursuit of him, my divine master, who was the storehouse of knowledge and perfection. This is the reason why I have never been off from reality in all my thoughts and expressions. Okay. I had entered the field with a burning desire to see the end of love, which I bore for my master, and I did have it in full measure. That's all. That is Babuji Maharaj's teaching. One has to love the master, not through knowledge, bookish knowledge. One should love the master with full of heart and submit oneself to at the holy feet of the great master. Then definitely such persons, such seekers, such true seekers will attain, will reach the destination with the grace and blessings, with the pity. Like Raghavendra Rauji says, Rev. Raghavendra Rauji Maharaj, he says, because I have attained, means in the sense I could reach the ultimate, not by the grace or the blessings, by the pity of the master. So that is what we require from the master. That's all. Thank you very much. I have taken half an hour time. I hope you would have all inspired and absorbed whatever the message that Babuji Maharaj has given, as well as the Vedantis they have given. Thank you very much. Meet you next time by the will of the great master. Till then, have a nice day. Om Shanti.